Make sure you like the stream. Shout out to everyone here. I know it's been a while since I've been live. I didn't want to go live again unless I had something to really speak on. And I want to speak on this because I think people are giving this heifer a pass. And I did wait a couple days before speaking on the story. But I'm not waiting no more. You know, everybody want to talk about the melanated brother that lost his life due to his white girlfriend. Everybody want to talk about that. But nobody want to talk about a black woman on black woman violence. Nobody wants to talk about that. But you people, I'm not talking about y'all here, but there's a segment of you people who care more about a deceased black man and his dating preferences more so than a murder plot. And I'm going to be honest, I don't care what he said. Because I have heard worse from heifers on YouTube right now. So let's get into this. Let's see who's here. Shout out to Jason Grady for becoming a member. Salute to Jason Grady. I'm gonna be on you heifer's helmet tonight. Or your weave. Let's see. Free my grandma, Sydney, Eric, Ramon, Christopher, Beefer, Gerald, XL Pro HEE. King Dambo was good. King Bolo, what's up? Trey. Latasha was good. Riderwise. TW, Kenny, Maverick G. What's going on? Appreciate that, Ramon. Take my time to really look for my instrumentals. But again, make sure y'all like the stream. You got a heifer who had an actual murder plot. Who said that she was plotting to take the life of another black woman, but y'all care more about a black man's opinion and you want to talk trash about him because his white girlfriend took his life, not knowing the particulars of it, not knowing what happened, but you're running to social media to talk about a deceased black man that you didn't even know that didn't affect your life whatsoever. See, that's typical of you people. Very typical of you people. Not only are we going to talk about this, I am going to react to a video of a woman who set her boyfriend up to be killed. I told y'all I'm going in tonight. What's good, Brent? Immortal was good. Ultra was good. I don't care what that black man said. Who cares? He's no longer here. Who cares what he said? You heifers have said worse.
Protect black women goes out the window when it comes to hood females.
Right.
Seen it all my life.
Appreciate that, Brian. Well, they must not care about her. And the reason why I'm really speaking on this, because you have two women who are in the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? And you would think that, this would be a bigger story, but it ain't. People talked about it one day and then moved on. Oh, no, we're going to talk about it tonight. I want to remind you. Oh, yes, I'm going to clip this as well. There's a lot going on. Speaking of ain't shit women, do y'all know that Casey Anthony, the woman who years ago went to trial for taking the life of her young daughter, y'all know that heifer has come back to social media trying to be an advocate for women in the gay community? Did y'all see that? Casey Anthony has come from under her rock or trailer, wherever she's at, and she talking about how she wants to be an advocate for women and gays. Let me tell you, people in the gay community, The weirdos always try to attach themselves to your community. I wonder why. And Casey Anthony is getting cooked all over social media. Like, why would you even, like, who cares who you advocate for? You're going to get roasted. TikTok is having a field day. She is literally going to build, people are going to build TikTok channels off of cooking her. I told you, clout is a hell of a drug. And she really thinks, and she has a Substack. For those of you who don't know, Substack is like it's similar to Patreon. You can put up content behind a paywall. Who the hell is gonna pay for your content? You're an ain't shit mother. You took the life of your daughter. You weren't convicted on it, but we all know you did it. The only reason why the heifer didn't go to jail was because she was a young white woman. Let's be real. The juries are always gonna sympathize with a young white woman. And the fact that that woman is walking the streets tells you everything you need to know. The bias that there is. Okay, make sure y'all like the stream. This disgusting female behavior. For those who don't know, Asian doll is the female that you see on the screen on the left. Kash doll is this female you see on the right. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that these two women are exceptional women, black women. I know Kash doll recently had another child and then broke up with the father of her child. Interesting. But again, I can't sit here and ignore what Asian doll said. Right, King Bolo, right. Don't let her be a good looking white woman. You know, the Asian doll is a very interesting story. 1 minute she's a gangster, the next minute she's a victim. Y'all remember when she got into it with Myron from Fresh and Fit, and then she tried to act like she was the victim? Shout out to Brian.
Melanated women are the new face and main source of hood violence, and Casey Anthony is pure evil.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of broads will support.
Yeah, appreciate that, Brian. Yes, and that's why they should be called out. I saw some people online saying, no, don't repost the Casey Anthony video. Why not? Why not comment on it? If these people are putting stuff out there, people need to address it. This is the problem. We want to ignore female behavior. Whenever a female who's a disgusting human being says and does things, people want to ignore it. But when a man does it, they want him destroyed. They want his life destroyed. But when it's a woman, they want to ignore her. No, we're not going to ignore her. And the same could be said for Asian doll. Y'all remember she got into it with Myron and she tried to play the victim. Next thing you know, she this gangster chick. She got all these goons. And, you know, she could have took this woman Kash doll's life if she wanted to. I mean, how are these heifers allowed to do this? See, this is what no accountability is. This is why these women don't fear consequences. Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, for sure, Brent. That's why I tell y'all, make sure y'all follow me on the Twitter, on the Facebook, on the Instagram. I put up posts letting y'all know I'm live. You can't rely on YouTube anymore. Cannot rely on YouTube. So you have this big-faced heifer who wishes she was Asian, who is making threats, and people are just moving on from it. We're not going to move on from it. I want as many people as possible. Just like I talked about those two deadbeat single mothers in my most recent live stream, we're going to talk about this chick Asian doll and how she talks about how she could have took this woman's life. You see, this is why, we could say, well, it's no accountability. And we can also say no one takes black women seriously. See, black women, you are a joke out here. Okay? What's good, Kathy? Treasure, what's up? Divine, what's good? People see you as a joke. They don't respect you. other races of men put hands on you because they see you as a threat. They don't see you as feminine women. I wonder why. Now, you can sit there and try to blame black men for that, but we have nothing to do with that. Your image is what you have built it up to be. You need to protect your image. But the fact is, a lot of you women make excuses for each other. You team up with each other. So all of y'all are going to be put in the same category. All of y'all going to be put in the same category. Again, make sure y'all like the stream. Heifers is out here making threats. And we know, Asia, you can't fight. We know that in a situation, in a fight or flight situation, you're going to run. You have the energy of a runner. Nothing gangster about you. You just date dudes who are street dudes. But we know, Asian doll, you're not gangster. You're not about that life, heifer. A lot of you heifers try to act like you in these streets and you no, you not tough. You ain't never want to fight in your life. There's nothing. I can say this about you males as well. You black males that want to act gangster online, ain't never want to fight. You ain't never been in these streets. But you have the most to say. We don't believe you. We don't believe you. How can somebody make threats like this and still be on the streets? No investigations, no RICOs. See, if this was a black man that had said this, there would have been a RICO. There would have been investigations. People would have been getting arrested. But they let you black women be menaces in the community because they don't take you seriously. They know that you're a joke. You're a useful idiot. Just like you heifers, you get on YouTube and you talk crazy about black men and you go home to an empty apartment because you ain't got nobody. Well, some of y'all got kids. You have no man. Even your baby's fathers don't want to have relations with you. So you get online and you're angry. You're angry. Kash doll, she ain't got no man. She bounces off one rapper's lap to another rapper's lap. None of these men want you. So what do? You get online, you thirst trap, you struggle rap, and you look at Kash doll, who, let's be real, she looks better than you, and she could get attention from the men that you want attention from. These darker complected women have serious psychological issues and they're deathly jealous of other women. Let's call it what it is. What's good, last sigil? Yeah, she struggle raps. Struggle raps. She's just another female rapper that wants to be famous but doesn't want to put the work in to be a serious artist. They're in it for the wrong reasons, which is why female rap will never go anywhere. That's why it will always be one female that's more successful than everybody else. Right? So let's get to the story. A long-standing feud between rappers Asian Doll and Kash Doll has escalated dramatically, reaching a point where threats of violence have now entered the conversation. The conflict, which dates back several years, reignited when Kash Doll performed in Asian Doll's hometown of Dallas. During her set, Kash Doll led the crowd in chanting explicit insult directed at Asian. The viral moment added fuel to an already tense rivalry, prompting a series of heated social media exchanges. Asian Doll, known for her deep ties to Dallas, took offense to Kash Doll presence in her city, particularly because Kash incited the crowd to chant against her. This move was seen as a blatant provocation, and it didn't take long for Asian to respond. Kash, however, appeared unfazed by the backlash and quickly took to Twitter to challenge Asian to a lyrical battle instead of a social media war. She's not going to do that. Asian Doll has no bars. Of course she's not going to want to do that. Every day I get online, this YN Asian got my name in her mouth. I don't want to argue on Twitter. Let's get in the booth. She tweeted. She also referenced their past conflict, reminding Asian that she never responded to her in 2019 diss track. Here I go. Adding to the tension, Kash made a controversial comment about Asian's pregnancy, writing, "You're pregnant, stop talking about me so much because baby girl gonna look like me." The remark sparked immediate outrage as many fans saw it as an unnecessary personal attack. Listen, this is why I say there's no victims here. I mean, these heifers talk hella reckless. This is what these heifers do. They talk reckless. And then they wonder why people are angry with them. They wonder why they're constantly in beef and conflict. Rather than ignoring Kash jabs, Asian doll escalated the situation by posting a shocking screenshot of a conversation implying that she and her associates had considered attacking Kash's vehicle while she was in Dallas. This what happens when this YN lets you keep your life be, Asian wrote in the post. She went on to claim that her crew had planned to open fire on Kash doll's Sprinter van, but ultimately decided against it because Kash had her children on the road with her. So if she wouldn't have had her kids with her, you would have took her life. And you know what's crazy? Asian doll probably wouldn't have went to prison. Y'all know in these situations, we've seen so many situations where these women will instigate, they will plan on taking somebody's life. But instead of them getting the most time in jail, it's the shooters who get the most time. And that female will get little to no time. She literally admits to plotting, but if anything was to happen, I'm telling you, they would have gave her a slap on the wrist, because that's what they do. They don't want to punish these women because they don't want these women to change. Why do you think you see such a backlash to the red pill, MGTOW, even passport bros? Whenever men are saying, I want better than what is here, these women need to really do better, there's a backlash because they don't want these women to have any accountability. They want these women to be destructive. Unfortunately, you got men who attack other men because we say, you know what, these women need to do better. They don't want these women to do better. They want these women to be destructive because they've been able to get, they've been able to get sex out of these women. So of course they don't want these women to change, because these women actually changed. A lot of these men wouldn't have a chance with these women that they with, or they're trying to get with these women. You knew not to say stuff yesterday while you were in Dallas. She continued, today you talking because you happy you ain't die B. The screenshot Asian showed an unidentified person asking her details about who was bringing Kash to Dallas, seemingly hinting at a setup. While the authenticity of the message remained unclear, the implications were severe enough to alarm fans. It should alarm police. Fans, police need to be alarmed by this. I mean, did we not see what happened with Mo 3? They built an entire YouTube section devoted to Mo 3 because of what happened to him down there. So yes, you should be on high alert. Don't let me get started on what's going on in Tennessee, in Memphis. The police need to be on high alert, but they don't take these women, they don't take you black women seriously, even though black women, and I'm going to get into a little bit later, black women have been very destructive in the black community. We've seen situations where these women will go, when they get in an argument with a man, they will go get their simps to go and harm that man. We've seen that plenty of times. And there was a couple of simps, a couple of beta males that were willing to put their freedom on the line for this heifer, for this big face retard. Okay? This is why I tell y'all, a lot of you black men are cooked. You're cooked. There's no fixing you. You're willing to put your freedom and your life on the line for a woman who wouldn't give you the time of day. Look at this, y'all. And you mean to tell me that the police down there, they weren't alerted by this? How many black men have we see go to jail off of something they said online in an interview? How many rappers have been arrested and jailed due to interviews on DJ Vlad? But here you have a woman who not only said that she planned to do something to you, but she had a screenshot of the shooters. And you wonder why we go in on these women, and then you simps, you beta males, you buck broken losers, you get on here and you're mad because men call these heifers out. You're mad because we called them out. Who created the setup artists? Who's setting up these men to get robbed? It ain't other men, it's other women. Not only are these women setting up random men to be robbed, they actually set up their own boyfriends and husbands to be killed. But then you got these buck broken losers who get online and they want to defend these women and they want to attack men who call out this behavior. And you wonder why you don't have a woman. And if you do, you're getting pity box. It's pity box. You don't know what it's like to be in control in a relationship with a woman.
BW get treated like mentally delayed children, and racist YT people give them a slap on the wrist and send them back out to cause more chaos and confusion.
Appreciate that, TW. Absolutely. And that's why they allow these women to not do no hard time, because they know that she's going to get out and she's going to create more bastard children and she's going to continue to destroy the communities. They know that she's not going to do nothing productive. She's going to work some dead-end job. She's not going to take her kids out the hood. They know this. What's good, random woman? Again, make sure y'all like the stream. This is absolutely disgusting. Anybody who's not talking about this or who are defending this, y'all cannot. This is why I say a lot of these people ain't worth saving. They're really not. This woman revealed her murder plot. It wasn't a spur of the moment when she said, "You lucky I didn't see you out. I would have put hands on you," something like that, right? She had a text message exchange with somebody. If that don't get you arrested, I don't know what does. But this is why the police can be a joke sometimes. Y'all so quick to put a black man in jail. You know, there are black men who will go to jail for a suspended license or for not paying child support. But you got women literally saying that they're plotting on another woman and nothing is done. Nothing is done. Until somebody lose their life, all of a sudden y'all want to pretend like you care about keeping the community safe. Bullshit. Because you saw the red flags and you did nothing like always. Because you more concerned about locking up a black man and filling your prisons more than you care about keeping these situations from escalating. This is the exchange, y'all. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. And she liked whatever post was taken down. She liked it or, removed. And y'all wonder why black men are going to other countries for other women. Y'all so mad about the passport bros. Well, y'all give them every reason to leave. Y'all give those men every reason to. Why would they stay? Why would they stay? Just absolutely disgusting. Despite the disturbing nature of Asian's claims, Kash Doll appeared unimpressed and responded with sarcasm, "Not you, that mad at me. Guns involved, LOL, just get in the booth. That's all I ask, pregnant YN." Asian, however, doubled down on her statements, reinforcing that her pregnancy was the only thing stopping her from taking more extreme measures. "That was me thinking like a pregnant woman. Be lucky, cause the real me would have let my folks kill you, B." Y'all see this? And y'all want to know why black men are leaving this country, getting away from you? Y'all seriously want to know why these men are leaving? Y'all want to know why would you want to be a passport bro? Why would you want to go your own way? Why the red pill is dead. Fuck out of here. It ain't never dead, because you heifers will always convert another man to the ideology every day. Red pill ain't never dying. You motherfuckers are just weak. And you are unfortunately for you have been groomed to be a fucking loser. Point blank, period. The red pill never died. You dudes are just weak. And you're cowards and you're desperate for box. So you'll say anything to impress women who don't know you. I've never felt like the red pill philosophy kept me from getting no women, ever. You got people that'll say, well, you'll never say that in person. You want to bet? See, you're not me. See, I can say it in person. You know what I'm saying? I say it online every day. It don't scare the heifers away. It brings them to me. But see, that's me. Now you might scare them away because a lot of y'all give off weird energy. That's why you can't say what I say to women, because what you scared the heifers away. So of course you're gonna renounce or speak against because you scare the heifers away, because they can sense that you're a fake fraud and a loser. You don't live your raps. We gotta hold these heifers accountable. We gotta hold them accountable. Y'all gotta be tough. But y'all being weak. Y'all being weak out here. The remarks stunned social media users, with many debating whether Asian Doll had crossed the line by openly discussing an alleged plan of violence. Asian Doll and Kash Doll's rivalry can be traced back to years of underlying competition and occasional diss tracks. However, the tension intensified when Kash appeared on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay podcast, where she claimed to be the original Doll rapper. Let me say this. Asian Doll, I hope you get arrested someday. And I hope this is used against you. I really do. I really do. Salute to everybody that's here. I remember, what's good, Daisy? So I remember Asian Doll tweeted she only dated dudes that had more than 3 bodies. Yeah, she said that. That's why I say she's going to end up doing something stupid, and I think this needs to be held against her. You heifers have been getting away with all this nonsense, and that's why it needs to be addressed. I can't just ignore it. People say, well, you need to ignore it. No, because they would never ignore me saying crazy shit. They would never let me, ignore what I say. We need to hold these heifers accountable by any means. This woman is threatening somebody's life. Of course, Kash Doll is going to brush it off, because I told y'all these women ain't got no common sense. They're all mentally ill. Black women never, like her, never take threats seriously. And then guess what happens to them? We see story after story of these women losing their life because they dating some dude straight out of the penitentiary. They're dating a man who's in these streets. You know how many stories I've seen of women dating men who are fresh out the penitentiary? Dating men, tattoos all over their face, history of domestic violence. But these women don't run away from that. They run towards it. That's a good point, Raina. If it ain't serious to them, it ain't serious to me. I agree. But I'm still going to put this in their faces. Because they can get on here and they could roast a black man who lost his life due to being murdered by his girlfriend. They could talk about how he talked crazy about black women, but he never threatened a black woman's life. He never threatened a black woman's life unless y'all got something that I haven't seen. You know who threatened a black woman's life? This woman right here. She threatened that woman's life. But y'all got to understand, this is 2025. You know how many people we've seen get murdered and killed and set up and like. Y'all remember the story in Atlanta? The melanated female, she was leaving the club in an Uber, and she got she lost her life because her Uber got shot up. This is a female. One female got the whole Uber shot up at a stop sign. Why do they want to kill that woman so bad? I'm saying this because no one cares about who's a male and female anymore. See, there used to be a code, you know, we don't go after the women like that, right? But now the women are just as much of a target as the men are. That's why I'm making this video or live stream as a reference point in case we need to revisit this again. Because people's homicidal tendencies are starting to ramp up because what happens with social media, it makes people believe that they have to escalate. They think they have to escalate things. And that's what it looks like. Asian Dog, she feels like she has to escalate to show that she's tough. When I told y'all, she's probably never won a fight in her life. She dated all these street dudes in order to feel safe, but what happens to those dudes? Like King Von. Can't even protect themselves. Social media makes people believe that they have to escalate in order to get the one up, right? To get the one up or to get a win. It's crazy. But again, make sure y'all like the stream. We're not done yet. We got we're gonna do a reaction. Hopefully there's no issues with YouTube. We're gonna do it. I might just do this on streams moving forward. We're gonna react to this woman setting up her boyfriend to be murdered. We're gonna react to this video together. Let's see. All right. All right, people.
And you said he was shot at
the most powerful.
And you said he was shot and is he breathing?
No, I don't think so.
Alright, when did this happen?
Like 5 minutes ago.
Alright. And how many is injured? Is it just him?
Yes, that's him.
A woman who deputies say made a 911 call last month has been charged with her boyfriend's murder. The Lenoir County Sheriff's Office says Niasia Perkins and Calvin Colley were arrested Wednesday and charged with first-degree murder and felony conspiracy in Quentin Gray's death. Deputies say both Perkins and Colley were arrested yesterday at their places of work in Kinston. Deputies won't say where that happened, but did confirm the two worked together. The 26-year-old woman lives in Lenoir County, while deputies say the 29-year-old man is from Goldsboro.
Oh, yeah. It seems like everybody around me keep leaving.
Jaye saw the one of the chick who dated the devil-worshipping gang member, devil worshipper who took her life. He was also rainbow.
Did you see the one chick who dated the devil worshiping gang? Oh, no, I don't know if I seen that. See, it was on the same channel. I might have a while back. I might have seen this story. But yeah, man, these are recent stories, right? Recent stories.
And they break it all into pieces. It seems like everybody around me keep leaving. It seems like everybody around me keep leaving. Play with my feelings and I don't give them a reason. They take my heart and they break it all into pieces. I ain't talking about magic. Niggas get killed and it's good and it's tragic. Gotta stay focused, you lose when you sleeping. Watch how I'm moving, I move with precision. All of these hoes be choosing and picking. Can't do how I do and I do how I did it. They not in my lane, no they not in my league. Ain't on my level, we cannot compete. We not together, you not on my team. Don't see no one better like who hot as me.
It was just after midnight on December 8, 2024, when Lenoir County Dispatch received a 911 call. The voice on the other end was frantic, shaken, barely able to string together words between gasps of breath. A man had been shot. The caller, 26-year-old Niasia Perkins, told the operator that she had been in bed when she heard gunshots. She said she hid her children under the bed, afraid of whoever was inside her home. Her boyfriend, 30-year-old Quentin Lee Gray, known to many by his rap name Hoodrich Montana, had been shot multiple times in the living room. The suspect? According to Niasia, she had no idea who it was or where they had gone. But when first responders arrived, the scene didn't match her story. There were no signs of forced entry. No broken windows, no kicked-in doors. Just Quentin, lifeless on the floor, with his two young sons nearby. At first, it seemed like a tragic home invasion, a robbery gone wrong. But investigators quickly realized the story wasn't adding up. The inconsistencies, the missing details, and the way Niasia carried herself in the days following the murder all pointed to something else. Something planned.
And let me say this, though. When these situations happen, the father loses life, the mother gets arrested, the children pay for this. I just don't understand why you can't just walk away. Why do you have to take that man's life? Because now the children don't have either one of their parents. Maybe in her mind, she didn't think that she would get caught. That's why I say y'all have to be, not y'all, but these criminals got to be smarter than that.
What really happened that night in the quiet home on Sweet Amy Lane? How did a grieving girlfriend become the prime suspect in a brutal murder? And why was her co-worker, 29-year-old Calvin Colley, arrested alongside her just weeks later? Stay with us as we uncover the truth behind a case that sent shockwaves through Lenoir County, North Carolina, a case of betrayal, deception, and premeditated murder. Welcome to True Crime Stories HQ. If you love gripping real crime story, a rising rapper in North Carolina working hard to make a name for himself in an industry that doesn't hand out.
By the way, the name of the channel is True Crime Stories HQ. If y'all want to go over there, y'all could go subscribe to their channel.
Success easily. But to those who knew him best, he was simply Quentin, a devoted father, a hardworking man, and someone who made sure his family always came first.
Which they claim black men don't do, right? They claim black men don't take care of their kids, they don't work hard. That's what he was doing. I don't want to play this. I don't want to play too much of this music in case there's a copyright situation. But if y'all want to see it, y'all can go over there. The video was posted like a couple days ago, less than a week ago. But he was a rapper as well, you know. Don't seem like he was a street rapper though. Just, you know, just a rapper. You know what I'm saying?
North Carolina, a small town where everybody knew everybody. Life wasn't easy, but he never let that define him. From a young age, he was drawn to music, rhythm, and storytelling, using his experiences to shape his lyrics. He had the voice, the drive, and the hunger, but more than that, he had 2 little boys depending on him. For Quentin, Gianni and Amiri were everything. Friends say he was the kind of father who was always present, playing outside with his boys, taking them places, making sure they knew they were loved. He didn't just talk about being a dad, he lived it. Even when money was tight and things got tough, he always made sure his children had what they needed. His goal wasn't just to make music, it was to create a better life for them. He spent long nights writing lyrics, recording tracks, and planning his next moves, hoping that one day his music would take off and provide him with the kind of success that would allow his family to thrive. But dreams can be fragile, and in a town where opportunities are scarce and struggles are plenty, Quentin knew that success wouldn't come easy. He stayed focused, kept grinding, and tried to avoid distractions. But some things you can't see coming, especially when they come from the person closest to you. His life with Niasia Perkins, a relationship that wasn't what it seemed. Quentin had been in a relationship with Niasia Perkins for years. Together, they had built a life in their quiet home on Sweet Amy Lane, raising their 2 boys under the same roof. From the outside looking in, they were a family just like any other. Social media showed happy pictures, loving captions, and birthday celebrations. Niasia posted about their relationship, often calling Quentin her everything. But behind the careful...
Well, obviously he wasn't her everything because she ended up having his life taken. So obviously he wasn't her everything. You were looking for his replacement, and you probably was looking for his replacement for years. Was the next dude a little bit more street for you? He was in a relationship with a demon. He absolutely was. Talking about he was her everything. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. All right, Brian, I'll take a look at it.
Curated images, things weren't as perfect as they seemed. There were arguments, tensions that built over time, and issues that neither of them addressed openly. While Quentin focused on his music and his children, those close to him say the relationship was beginning to feel strained. There were whispers of jealousy, of resentment, of things unsaid but felt in every glance and every argument. Even so, Quentin stayed. He believed in family, in working through problems, in keeping things together for the sake of their boys. But Niasia? She had other plans. And in the weeks leading up to his murder, her actions spoke louder than any words ever could. She wasn't grieving the loss of a relationship. She was planning something else entirely. Quentin didn't know it, but his fate had already been sealed. And the person responsible for it slept just a few feet away. It was just after midnight when the Lenoir County Sheriff's Office received a frantic 911 call. The voice on the line was Niasia Perkins.
No, I haven't seen that video yet. I seen the thumbnail of it and the synopsis, but no, I have not seen it. So this dude, I guess he's openly bisexual. I'm talking about another story, y'all, that was sent to me. I'm telling y'all, it's always these men that can't decide whether they want men or women be the main ones that be beating on women. Look at Dr. Dre, according to Suge.
Shaking.
Make sure y'all like the stream.
Breathless.
And is he breathing?
No, I don't think so.
All right, when did this happen?
Like 5 minutes ago.
All right. And how many is injured? Is it just him?
Yes, it's just him.
All right, and how many suspects were involved?
I don't know, sir. I was there with my...
Y'all hear the? Do y'all hear the children or one of the children in the background crying? Y'all hear the children crying? You see, these heifers do not care about their kids. This heifer helped do something that is going to scar her children. They're without a father, and they're gonna be without a mother. Not concerned at all.
Put him under the bed.
Where's that suspect at now? Do you know?
No, sir.
A child could be heard crying in the call's background. Now, neighbors told WITN that Gray was the father of 2 boys. The woman who told 911 that she didn't know where Gray was shot as he was lying on his stomach. Now, deputies have yet to release any information on a suspect or a possible motive.
The call lasted less than 2 minutes. A desperate plea for help. A scene of chaos unfolding. But when authorities arrived at the house on Sweet Amy Lane, what they found didn't match Niasia's story. Quentin Lee Gray lay motionless in the living room, shot multiple times, blood pooling beneath him, his body positioned unnaturally as if it had been staged. His 2 sons, Gianni and Amiri, just children, were still inside the house.
Crazy.
Deputies swept the home, searching for any sign of an intruder, any sign of a break-in, a struggle, a forced entry. But there was nothing. No broken windows, no doors kicked in, no sign of anyone forcing their way inside. The only people in the house were Niasia and the 2 boys. From the start, something felt off to investigators. Niasia was shaken but composed. She answered their questions, but her story had gaps, pauses where they shouldn't have been, details that seemed uncertain. She claimed she had been asleep in bed with her children when she heard the shots. She didn't see who did it. She didn't know where they went. And yet, there were no footprints leading away from the house. No signs of anyone running. No missing valuables. Whoever shot Quentin had been let inside. Or maybe they had never left. The next day, Niasia took to social media. Her first posts were filled with grief, words of loss, of love, of heartbreak. It's about that time, bae. I'm glad I gave you your flowers while you were here. I love you, thank you for everything. Me, Gianni, and Amiri love you. I wish this never happened to you, Hoodrich, Montana.
Yo,
Friends
she
and family
is a sociopath. She's a sociopath. Like the video froze. Okay.
The comments. Condolences.
Well, let me go
shock.
back.
Questions. But didn't know where they went. And yet, there were no footprints leading away from the house. No signs of anyone running. No missing valuables. Whoever shot Quentin had been let inside. Or maybe they had never left. The next day, Niasia took to social media. Her first posts were filled with grief, words of loss, of love, of heartbreak. It's about that time, bae. I'm glad I gave you your flowers while you were here.
Laura Moore says she let Glocktavius in the crib. Facts. Yes, she did.
I love you. Thank you for everything. Me, Gianni, and Amiri love you. I wish this never happened to you, Hoodrich, Montana. Friends and family flooded the comments. Condolences. Shock. Questions. But then, just 2 days later, something changed. Her tone was no longer one of mourning, it was anger, control, exclusion. Everybody that think they going to be at Hoodrich, Montana service, y'all not. He only F *** ed with a few and they know who they are. The shift was sudden, almost as if her focus had moved away. *** ed with a
Y'all see, look at this heifer. Look how devious this heifer is. She said in this post, everybody that think they're going to be at Hoodrich, Montana service, y'all not. He only F with a few people and they know who they are, and the people he didn't F with, y'all know who y'all are. 100, he already told me he don't want none of y'all fake MFers at his stuff. Sorry, but not sorry. She must be talking about the people calling her out in the comment section. I think that's what she's mad about. People are calling her out, saying that she set him up, and she's getting mad, saying that now she's telling people who can be at his funeral and who can't be. It's always about control at the end of the day.
Few, and they know who they are. The shift was sudden, almost as if her focus had moved away from loss and onto something else. People started to question it. Was this grief?
Y'all look at this. Burgundy for you, Hoodrich, Montana. Watch over us. We love you. R.I.P. Hoodrich until we meet again. This is crazy. Yo, she probably couldn't wait to move the coworker in. How long y'all think how long did y'all think she took to move the coworker in? This is definitely crazy work.
Or was this guilt?
Work.
Why was she so quick to take control of his memorial, shutting people out? Why did her words sound more defensive than mournful? The people who knew Quentin best, his friends, his family, the ones closest to him, couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. And as investigators continued digging, they would soon uncover a truth that no one was prepared for. From the moment police arrived at the crime scene, something didn't sit right. Niasia Perkins had painted a picture of a terrifying home invasion, a random act of violence that had left her boyfriend dead and her children hiding in fear. But the evidence told a different story. No forced entry, no broken locks, no shattered glass. Whoever pulled the trigger didn't force their way inside. They were let in. The crime scene was too controlled. There were no signs of a struggle, no furniture overturned, no chaos. Just Quentin's lifeless body in the living room, positioned too perfectly for an ambush. The murder weapon was missing. In a typical break-in gone wrong, a suspect would flee quickly, often leaving behind some form of evidence. Here, the killer had time. As investigators pressed Niasia for more details, her story started shifting. She had been in bed with her children when the gunshots rang out. She didn't see anything. She didn't know who did it. But then her timeline didn't match up. Investigators reviewed her phone records, security footage, and social media activity leading up to the murder. And what they found changed everything. Niasia had been in contact with someone before and after the shooting. A man who had no reason to be involved in Quentin's life.
Right.
A man with his own history of violence. A man named Calvin Coley. Who is Calvin Coley?
Well, for one, he's a dumbass simp that deserves everything that's coming his way. He deserves it. I mean, the fact that you went full on simp, never go full simp. He went full simp for a woman he doesn't know. He knew her from work, right? But bro, you threw your life away. They're going to give you the most time. She's not getting the most time. She's going to testify against you, and she's going to get less time than you did. You're dumb. You're a moron. And this is what I say about these black men. Yeah, and she likes dreadheads. You know, baby's father has dreads. This dude got dreads. She has a thing for guys with dreads. This is what I say about you dudes, man. This is why people don't respect us as black men, because y'all are willing to crash out over an extra average heifer who she's not worth it. What, you gonna be with her? Let's say she was to leave the guy. She got kids. You're gonna be a stepdaddy immediately. Some of you dudes act like you ain't never had no women before. Because if you had women before, you wouldn't crash out like this. This is what men who don't get none do.
When detectives ran Calvin Coley's name through their system, the pieces began falling into place. 29 years old, a coworker of Niasia's, a man with a violent past. This wasn't just any man from Kinston, this was a man with a history of gun violence. Back in March 2020, Coley was involved in a shooting in Goldsboro that left 4 people injured. He had been arrested and charged with attempted murder firing into an occupied dwelling. He was a man comfortable with a gun, a man who knew how to pull the trigger and walk away. The question was, why was he involved in Quentin's murder? Was this a love affair turned deadly? Was this about money? Revenge? A setup? Or had Niasia and Calvin conspired together, 2 co-workers who saw an opportunity to eliminate Quentin and start fresh? The deeper authorities dug, the more suspicious the connection became. Phone calls, text messages, a pattern of communication that didn't belong. This wasn't just a case of wrong place, wrong time. This was something planned.
It definitely was. Make sure y'all like the stream.
And investigators were about to uncover just how deep this conspiracy ran. For weeks, investigators had been watching, listening, piecing together the truth. Every call, every inconsistency, every lead pointed in the same direction. Then on January 15, 2025, police made their move. At her place of employment in Kinston, Niasia Perkins was taken into custody. It happened quietly, efficiently, no warning, no time for her to prepare.
They went and arrested her at work. They went and got the heifer at her job.
One moment, she was at work. The next, she was being escorted out in handcuffs, surrounded by officers.
Embarrassed.
Across town, Calvin Coley's arrest wasn't as smooth. Police tracked him down at his workplace. When they arrived, he tried to avoid them, slipping into a storage area behind stacked pallets of inventory. But it was useless. Detectives cornered him, cuffed him, and led him out into the cold January air. 2 arrests, 2 suspects. And now Lenoir County had its answers. Both Niasia Perkins and Calvin Coley were officially charged with first-degree murder felony conspiracy. They were transported to the Lenoir County Jail, where they were ordered held without bond. The community reacted with shock, disbelief, and outrage. Quentin's family had suspected something was off, but now the truth was undeniable. The woman who once claimed to love him, the mother of his children, the person who stood over his casket crying for the world to see, she hadn't just lost him.
Ain't no come with all this hate, but fuck that shit, I'm still gon' grind. Who would ever thought that I'd be great? Who would ever thought that see me shine? Ain't even know come with all this hate, but fuck that shit.
Yeah, hiding behind pallets.
Who would ever thought that I'd be great? Who would ever thought that see me shine? Ain't even know come with all this hate, but fuck that shit, I'm still gon' grind. Who would ever thought that I'd be great? Who would ever thought that see me shine? Ain't even know come with all this hate, but fuck that shit, I'm still gon' grind. I said I'm back and I'm better, but I'm still strapped with that metal. Either a Glock or Beretta, got a vendetta, feeling like Blanca Griselda. These niggas not on my level, I cannot settle. I keep my foot on the pedal, catch up to me, I can't let them. All I can tell them, it's gonna go down with whoever.
She had orchestrated his murder. Investigators had spent weeks building their case, and the details painted a picture that was far from a random home invasion. Right. Surveillance footage contradicted Niasia's story. Security cameras in the neighborhood picked up movements that didn't match her timeline. No unknown suspects fleeing the scene. No cars peeling away in the night. Nothing to support the story of an intruder. Phone records revealed something even more damning. Niasia and Calvin had been in contact multiple times before the murder, calls, texts, messages leading up to that night. And then...
I know this guy, he's a violent crash dummy. But why didn't he think to himself, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't do this. You know what I think was happening? She was grooming him. Like, telling him a bunch of lies, probably telling him that the dude was abusing her, because these women can read you dudes. Like, if they know you had a certain issue in your childhood and things of that nature in your life, they will use that against you in order to manipulate you. And that could be a part of it as well. Maybe he didn't just do it for, physical reasons. He could have done it because maybe in his mind, he felt like he was saving her. Again, stop trying to be saving these heifers. These heifers don't need saving. Like, did you think about the fact they got children together and that the children is going to be without a father? That didn't resonate with you? Is it because you didn't have a father? So fathers don't matter?
After Quentin was dead, another exchange, as if confirming the job was done. Forensic analysis told the final piece of the story. The gunshots weren't random or chaotic. They weren't fired in a struggle. They were precise, deliberate, execution style. Quentin never had a chance. The story of a home invasion had been a lie. Niasia hadn't been asleep in bed when it happened. She had been waiting. And Calvin? He had been pulling the trigger. As the case made its way to court, one question remained. Was this a murder for money? A crime of passion? Or something even deeper? The truth was coming, and there was nowhere left to hide. The morning of January 16, 2025, the Lenoir County courtroom was packed. The air was heavy, tense, silent, except for the occasional whisper from the crowd, family, reporters, neighbors who had come to see justice unfold. At exactly 9, Niasia Perkins and Calvin Coley were led into the courtroom, shackled at the wrists and ankles. Niasia's face was blank. Her once public displays of grief now replaced with something colder, emptier. Calvin, the man accused of pulling the trigger, barely looked up. Then came the moment that everyone had been waiting for. The charges were read aloud. First-degree murder. Felony conspiracy. If convicted, both Niasia and Calvin could face life in prison without parole. Prosecutors wasted no time laying out the damning evidence. The phone records, the surveillance footage, the forensic analysis. The inconsistencies in Niasia's 911 call. The cold, calculated nature of Quentin's murder. This, they argued, was not a crime of impulse. It was premeditated, planned, a setup. But when the judge asked the defense if they had any statements, any response to the overwhelming evidence, they said nothing. No plea, no explanation, no denial, just silence. Niasia's family sat quietly, their faces expressionless. No one reached for her. No one wept for her. But Quentin's loved ones? They were seething with pain, anger, and an unshakable sense of betrayal. His mother wept in the front row. His friends shook their heads in disbelief. And his two young sons, the ones who had been in the house that night, were left without a father. Niasia had taken away the man who loved them the most. And for what? The community reacts. News of the arrests and court hearings spread fast. Quentin had been well known, not just in his neighborhood, but throughout Kinston and La Grange. His fans, his friends, even strangers who had followed his music, they all had the same question. Why?
More boxes, more options.
Because a lot of time the why is that maybe, some people just have so much hate in them. They see how much love another person is getting and they become jealous of that. And she probably knew if they broke up, he could possibly get custody, and she didn't want that. They see that as a loss, all right? What's good, Jean Marie?
Orchestrate the murder of a man she had shared a life with. Why would she post tributes online, only to be exposed as the one behind his death? And Calvin, what did he gain from this?
Nothing.
There were rumors, speculation. Was this about money? A new relationship? A debt unpaid? But one thing was certain, Quentin was gone. His children were now fatherless. His dream of success had been stolen. And the case wasn't over yet. Authorities hinted at the possibility of more suspects, suggesting that someone else knew more than they were letting on. As the trial loomed ahead, the public braced for more revelations, more lies uncovered, and a hopefully justice for a man who had trusted the wrong person. But the truth? It was still unraveling. And the story was far from over. Betrayal is a wound that cuts deeper than any bullet. Quentin Lee Gray trusted the woman he built a life with, the mother of his children, the person who once stood by his side. But in the end, she wasn't his protector. She was his downfall. His life was taken in cold blood, not by a stranger, but by someone who knew exactly how much he had to lose. Now, his two sons are left fatherless, growing up with the knowledge that their mother was behind the tragedy that tore their family apart. His family grieves, his friends seek answers, and his community is left questioning how something like this could happen. What drives someone to commit such a cold and calculated betrayal? Was this planned from the very beginning, or did something push Niasia and Calvin over the edge? We want to hear your thoughts. Do you think...
Well, I will say this. These type of stories are happening more and more. Again, I discuss how, we've seen stories where women will set up random men they meet offline, right? But now these women are setting up their boyfriends to get killed. Just a disregard for life. Self-hatred, hatred of men. It drives these women to do these things. You have children to take care of, and this is what you're doing? This is what you're doing? Yeah, she's definitely going to play the victim. Just like, Asian Doll. Asian Doll, as we discussed a little bit earlier, she's going to play the victim as well. Brian, I'll have to discuss that particular video another day. That might be a part of videos I put on Patreon, reacting to those types of stories, because those stories are happening more and more. But shout out to everybody that's here. That's pretty much it for me. I don't want the stream to get too long. But thank y'all for being here. Salute to the moderators, the channel members, the Patreons. Make sure y'all follow me on all the socials. The links are in the description box, so y'all can get notified when I'm live, because YouTube is not going to do that. And relying on YouTube is just not going to work, especially on my live stream channel. They do not let people know when I'm going live. They don't. So hopefully y'all will follow me on the socials so y'all can get notified when I'm live again. Salute to the people that donated tonight. Thank y'all. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Thank y'all for being here. I'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all take care. Hold on. Y'all take care and have a great rest of your night, all right?